Hello and welcome back to Star Citizen. My name is Evenlease, and today on 10 Minutes More or Less Ship Review, right behind me, the RSI Aurora Mark II. Let's go ahead and take a look. Welcome back to another ship review of the brand new Robert Space Industries Aurora Mark II. And I just have to say from the get-go, we skipped out an intro this time because I just got done with a 10-hour live stream going over the PTU all day waiting for this ship to hit the live verse, or the PTU, hopefully, right? But then the patch was delayed a little while and the patch just came out and this ship is here, the RSI Aurora Mark II, which honestly is phenomenal by almost every aspect that I can see as of right now. I've been looking through this thing left, right, down, center, every direction possible. Thank you, What124 and Seraph Omega, for joining me on today's review of the brand new Aurora Mark II. Now, this ship does not have any variants like the Aurora Mark I. This one actually is a modular ship, which is really, truly phenomenal given, the tier of this ship. And by tier, I mean this thing is a starter ship, and you can just tell by the price, let alone the size. This thing is $40 war bond if you're to buy it standalone, no modules whatsoever or anything, not a game starter pack, nothing. It's $40. If you were to buy the game starter pack for the ship and a few gear items, no modules, but you get the game, Star Citizen, which you should totally give a try. If you're out there looking to try a new game, it's totally worth it. It is $45 as of right now, but that price will increase someday soon, so get it while it's on sale. Now, if you were to buy this ship with the modules war bond, it is $55. If you were to buy the ship store credit with no modules, it's $45 and then $10 per module. You currently only have two modules available, which is the cargo module and the combat module, which I'll dive into what each one of those do. Taking a look at this ship, it does have a 5-minute and 49-second claim time and a 1-minute and 27-second expedited claim time. Honestly, for a starter ship, it's a little bit high on the expedited claim time, but honestly, a minute and a half, you're not going to be waiting for too long. I mean, go get yourself a double dog, go get yourself a drink. I don't really know what a drink is. Hydration in this game is a myth. But anyways, go take care of yourself, come back, get your ship, and get back out into the verse if for some reason it gets destroyed or misplaced. Definitely not a bad claim time at all. Now, as the pilot, you do have a total of 1,312 burst damage per second due to the stock CF227 Badgers on each wing. Now, you also have 8 size 2 Marksman 1 infrared missiles, 2 on the end of each wing. Now, if you lose a wing, you'll lose your missiles, so hopefully you've already shot them off, or you're not too concerned about that because you're running for your life. So just get going and hopefully escape if that's what you're trying to do. Now, if you were to go ahead and put the combat module on this ship, not only does it give you more defensive capability with an additional shield generator, but it gives you 8 size 2 Dominator 2 missiles, which is absolutely perfect with what it comes with. Those are electromagnetic and they're good to go straight from the bat, which is just phenomenal. Now, like I said, it does give you an additional shield generator with that combat module. So you got to be asking, well, how much shield generation does this ship have then? You have 7,500 bubble shield stock without that combat module, because you have 2 shield generators already on this thing. Now, if you add that combat module, that's an additional 3,750 bubble shield, making it 11,000 11,250, which as of recently, well, a couple patches ago, you do use all those shield generators at once. So you are sitting with 11,000 bubble shield, but you can only regenerate 2 at a time. So once you lose your bubble shield, you're going to be not gaining them back nearly as quick as you would assume. Now, talking about ship armor, you have 4,800 ship armor with 11 deflection physical and 9 deflection energy, which basically means everything out there is going to affect you except for some small arms. And by small arms, I mean somebody with a handgun or a rifle. They might not do any damage to your ship, unlike what they used to be able to, but anything else attached to an actual ship, like another CF or any sort of ballistic or anything out there, should be able to do damage straight to your armor and straight to your ship, and none of it will be deflected, sadly, but given the role and the size of the ship, that is to be expected. Now, as a top SCM speed, you have a total of 225 SCM with a 460 forward boost, a 240 backwards boost, and a top nav speed of 1,230. That's definitely not terrible by any means. The nav speed's fantastic. The acceleration on the ship is just phenomenal. It feels great in a low atmosphere environment like Daymar. On a heavier atmosphere, it's a little bit more sluggish, but that comes to any ship in a high density atmosphere. They all get kind of sluggish just because of the atmosphere you're in. Now, taking a look at his pitch yaw roll, it is 58, 52, 140 with a boosted 70, 62, 168. This thing almost competes as a light fighter. Honestly, with its shield and armor, it already kind of does. Its weapons are where it's kind of lacking. So with those guns, those CF227s, you immediately have to rip those things off and put something else there. It's recommended with the most recent build and the added deflection stat that you kind of have to focus towards either an NDB, an attrition, or a cannon of some sort. Now, you can go with a laser cannon or you can go with a ballistic cannon, whichever one you feel most comfortable with. I would go to Urkel, the website that you can look up stats, and see which one has the best round speed and kind of feel out what feels most comfortable to you, because a lower round speed means a harder time to hit the pip on an enemy ship. Now, you do have 48 flares and 5 decoys, as well as 10 SCU of hydrogen fuel and 1.5 SCU of quantum fuel. Definitely not a terrible amount of quantum fuel, allowing you to get around the verse a bit before having to refuel. And yes, this thing does have an interior, which we're about to take a look at. So, coming up to the exterior of the Mark II Aurora right in front of me. As you can see, I already have the door open. It's a slide open door, taking after the beautiful, beautiful Zeus. But here we are, the Aurora with its nice elongated body and wings. You do have the badgers right here on the sides, and you're going to start from the get-go seeing all these little buttons. So let's talk about this. The first one here is a shield generator. Go ahead and open that up. It looks pretty good. Go ahead and close that up. And then next, if you walk right next to that, here is your stock cargo. This ship without any modules comes stock with 2 SCU of cargo. So if you were to not get a cargo module, you can still carry a couple boxes. Go ahead and hit that button there, and it drops right on down. As you can see, I already have one of the boxes there. I'll grab one out. Very simple. Very easy to do, and set that down. It's got quite a bit of space, and if for some reason you were to go ahead and, I don't know, oh my lord, I'm falling. I'll be right back. All right, so that's dangerous. Be very careful about the back here when opening this cargo. Try not to stand on the actual cargo area because it looks like it'll punch you right through the planet that you're more than likely on. So I ended up on a different server after having to rejoin, because falling through the planet, don't want to just backspace for that. So I picked up the other Aurora currently that I have, and this one has the combat module instead of the cargo module, which I wanted to talk about for a moment. So I'm going to show you some video that I took before this moment. The cargo module does have the ability to carry an additional 6 SCU of cargo, and I will tell you right now that 6 SCU of cargo, you can't do it like in a 4 SCU container. It has to be size 1s or size 2s due to the way that they did the cargo drop down. There is a pillar right in the center preventing anything bigger than a size 2 or 1. Now, you could also potentially fit something like a pulse on this. I drove one right up, but right when I got off, the pulse sunk right under the ramp and no go. It's almost like there was no collision at all. I couldn't get the pulse to stay no matter what I did. If I tractor beamed it, if I drove it on there, nothing. So currently there are some issues with the collision on certain areas of these cargo grid. Something to be very wary about. Now that I've pulled out the combat module, let's take a quick peek at this. This thing comes with an additional 8 missiles, 4 of them mounted at the bottom, 4 of them mounted at the top. just as you can see on screen. That's where they'll be coming from. Now, if you're asking, well, it comes with a third shield generator, right? Yes, your ship goes from 2 shield generators to a total of 3. And you can see the area that you would place that additional shield generator just by looking at the back. You go ahead and click the blue button right back here and open that up, and it opens up where that third shield generator currently is, which is pretty cool. Combat module is great if you want to go out there and experience a really good time in PvE or even trying a little bit of PvP. Now you have to be, of course, very careful about what you come against because your maneuverability will get outmatched by pretty much any other light fighter out there, but you can still put up quite the fight. You also only have size 2 guns, but you do have 4 of them, and if you outfit it correctly and you're a decent pilot, you'll put up, again, quite the fight. You have good shield, you have decent armor, and taking a look, you have a pretty decent amount of HP, sitting at a total of 18,021. Again, I didn't go over that HP stat a little while ago, but I'm telling you right now, it's 18,021 HP on this ship. And of course, a lot of that is spread to these wings. We're going to take more looks around this ship here as we go about. But now, if we go ahead to the side, another shield generator right on over here. This is, of course, on your starboard side, which it looks pretty decent. And then you go over here, and this is, again, the other side of that standard 2 SCU that you get. Try not to stand on the square. We saw what happened when I did that. Now, if we move all the way up to the front of this ship, you can see there is a way to open up the fuel port, which drops down right there. Looks pretty good. Well, how do you get up there? Well, you're going to do it the most unorthodox way possible, but they allow you to actually vault right here on the cockpit glass, and you can walk on up and take a look at everything you have on board, which, while it might be unorthodox, is awesome. I love that is here. You can go ahead and open all these up and find every single one of your components right here on the top, including right here, over here, and even on the wings at the front. You got your coolers, one over here and one over here. Looks really, really good. So cooler, a bunch of other little areas here that you can go ahead and have a lot more. Go ahead and close all these up and close up even more and close up this one, close up that one, and it's pretty fantastic. Full gold standard pass, right? Now, you got to be asking yourself, well, does this ship have lamp? No, this ship does not currently have lamp. Yes, it is a brand new ship to the verse, but no, it is not currently outfitted with lamp. So no night vision in the current Aurora Mark II. The Aurora Mark I's do indeed have night vision. Now, when you go ahead, let's start from the beginning here of closing this up, just see what it looks like, okay? Here's the ship with the door closed. Very sleek. You would never even know the door is there if there wasn't a button, and you walk right on up, hit the open button, and here we go. Beautiful. Look at that. Look at that gorgeous, gorgeous interior. Now, when you walk in, even if you have your systems online, as in everything's powered, you're gonna see it's kind of dark in here. And no, it's not me. It's just dark in here. Even with the power on, the lights just don't come on. I think that's a bug, but if you go ahead and walk right over to the bed, you hit lay down, you do have the ability to turn on all interior lights, which we'll do really quick so we can take a look at some things. So go from auxiliary and hit on, and there you go. You'll have all the lighting you need for the Aurora Mark II, which looks absolutely phenomenal, by the way. With everything lit up, it looks great. Let's go ahead and close this beautiful door. Ah, look at that, nice and sealed up. Now, while you're in here, you'll notice, again, you have a bed right here. It looks great, very uncomfortable, honestly. You do have 2 windows, so we'll go ahead and lay back down really quick, just kind of show you what those windows look like. When your wings are closed, you don't get too much of a view. You get very, very little, which is all right. There's windows, I kind of can't complain too much. And then when you get out of this very uncomfortable bed, you'll move over here and you got yourself a nice armor locker, press the button there, and it opens right on up. If you get trapped in here, you go ahead and press the button on the inside and you can open it right back on up. Now, if you turn around over here, you do have a weapons locker, allowing you to carry 2 rifles, 3 handguns, and 3 multi-tools, which is pretty cool. As you can see on screen, a couple of weapons and stuff there. It does look quite nice. Now, if you go right underneath that, you do have a personal storage carrying a total of 1 million micro SCU right here. So pretty nice, pretty nice. I do like that. Now, after that, you go ahead and come over here, you open this button here, and it's a component bay with your life support system and relays. Right above that is your engineering terminal. As you make your way into the verse for the first time, or even as a longtime veteran, it's a good idea to familiarize yourself with the engineering terminal, because as time goes on, more and more things will be attached to engineering and everything else, like armor, hull strength, cooling, life support, your fuel. These things will be all accessible here. You can go through your systems and take a look at stuff, lock up some doors, go through your configuration and even set some presets for these things. Let's go ahead and hop out of the engineering terminal and take a look over over here, you'll see 2 areas that say no appropriate item. Well, when we have our box delivery missions back in our hand here real soon, it's actually in the next week or so, you'll be able to put boxes here, and they'll actually be attached there via a grid system, just as you can see here. Right now, if you had 1/8 micro SCU, which you can go ahead and grab and go do some bunker runs with, you'll just put them right here, and it's fantastic. They're nice and locked into place and taken well care of. And then right over here, you have a fire extinguisher, which is in a fantastic spot right by the pilot seat and not halfway down the cabin to where you have to fight the fire just to get to the fire extinguisher. So I do love that. Now, when you get into the pilot seat, you do have a pretty decent view. It is RSI, of course, after all. So you're going to have some struts, left, right, a little bit to the down, a little bit over there, and your seat doesn't push forward or anything. You do have a pretty decent view, a little bit of walls on the left and right. Right above you is the seat control. So let's turn off head tracking really quick and look right on up. So that's your seat area. So you only get a little bit above you, a little bit to the sides, and a little bit below you. Now, this is the interior cockpit. You have 2 MFDs and of course a radar front that you can scroll wheel and change your radar distance, which is really nice. Always remember that. And then if you look to your left, you do have a lighting switch. If I were to hit F, it'll turn the lights off in this cockpit. It doesn't turn off the rest of the ship typically, but I'll go ahead and turn that back on. Actually, it looks like it did. Wow, shocker. Earlier it didn't, but this time it is. So you can turn the lights on or lights off. Daytime, nighttime. And there you go. It looks pretty fantastic. We'll go ahead and turn those back on, and we'll turn on the engines, and this will push us right into the sound test. All right, now that we've done the sound test, let's do a quick fight. Do a little PvE fight, have a little fun, you know, fight a Titan here. Go ahead and go after that, you know, do a little bit of one-on-one, maybe one-on-two, and see what exactly happens when we engage. I did switch my weapons to FLs, so they're nice laser cannons. Holy cow, that thing just went flying by me. And with that, we're gonna go ahead and engage. We'll send 2. And we'll see about switching over to the other weapon. Send another one. Might be able to finish this thing before we even get over to it. All right, here it comes. Oof, good hit, good hit. Look at that, it's already red. Now, we did switch over to FL, so a little bit of laser cannon fire here. Oof. You gotta love having the missiles, but that wasn't even our main target, so let's get back over here and see what we can do to find all of our targets really quick and destroy them all. All right, we're approaching target number 2, and it looks to be a Buccaneer. So we're gonna go ahead and engage with one missile first. Let's go ahead and fire that on out of here. Beautiful, beautiful missile. And then we'll move into our FL-22s to engage with a little bit of laser cannon fire. Now, the power systems on the ship aren't at the greatest stage right now. With laser cannons, I have very, very big lack of power, and I will need to upgrade my power systems as well as my coolers to hopefully give me a little bit more. But let's go ahead and start the engagement. All right, got a good hit on it. Oh, wow, it took a lot of red nose to the nose right off the bat. Insane. All right, let's bring it back in. He's pretty red, but that nose damage is quite concerning. Barely got tapped by, I mean, it was a pretty big gun though. It was a size 4. So, I mean, a lot of ballistic fire there. So maybe got to maneuver away from getting hit so directly, right? All right, gotta let these recharge just a little bit before we continue our engagement, but don't let them shields recharge on him. We're almost got him, he's almost down. And our target has been killed. So let's take a quick look at why that could have went so red so fast. How much health is in the nose of this ship? And I'm gonna tell you right now. Taking a look at what's in front of you, this is what's very, very concerning, okay? I don't know why, looking at Aurora Mark II here, it says Geo, body 3000, wing base right 4200, wing base left 4200, and then of course 1 HP all throughout these doors, which is interesting. But then it goes Geo tail 2400, Geo nose 4 HP. So being sneezed on caused 4 HP. That nose went red instantly. Barely got touched, the nose was red. This is kind of a concerning number, and hopefully CIG can look at this immediately and try to figure out why that nose has such little HP, and maybe if we can get a little bit better of an HP spread. Now, talking about the combat module on the Aurora Mark II, I have to let you know, once you expend those missiles, you'll not be able to rearm them unless you do it manually. Currently, there is a bug not allowing you to actually go to a repair pad, hit rearm, and it actually rearms those missiles. It's the same thing with the missile PDCs on a big capital ship. They just won't rearm under the vehicle manager, which is actually a very, very bad thing. So once again, we are plagued with the not entering PTU, going straight to live. Now we have a lot of concerns and issues that could potentially make such an amazing ship kind of a pain in the butt until we actually get some fixes down the line. Whether that might be a few days, a few weeks, or another 2 months, who's to tell, but this is a brand new starter ship, and I would like to see it really just excel, because it is a phenomenal ship. If you're not looking at the bugs and you're looking at everything else presented to you with the Aurora Mark II, this thing is gorgeous. It is just a beautiful looking ship. It has a lot of resemblances to the Scorpius, and it's kind of what we've always wanted with the original Aurora, right? And the bugs are kind of scary, and I'm a little worried about that. If I were to honestly give this thing a score as a starter ship, brand new to the verse, you have a decent amount of firepower, 4 size 2s. I mean, obviously, you're not going to be knocking anything out of the park right away. You will have to modify what weapons you use now with the new deflection stats, depending on what you're attacking. In PvE, fantastic, no problem, right? The nose HP is very concerning. So with that, it's a tough one, right? Do I consider that a bug, or do I consider that just kind of where we're at right now with it? I'm going to say it's a bug. I don't think this thing is supposed to have 4 HP to the nose, because that would not be good, right? So overall, I think with this thing being a starter ship, you having 2 base SCU, and then you have to get some modules on top, its modularity does really elevate it against many other ships out there in the verse, including a lot of long time running ships, even like the Cutlass and stuff, because modularity means you can add so many different adaptations to this, and that is an amazing idea, right? It's big, it's beautiful, it has a lot of great moving parts. I think, honestly, this ship for me is currently a 92 out of 100. Do I think that score can go up? Yes. And I think that to require this score to go up, you got to have some fixes. You got to have some things working a little bit better. But 92 out of 100 is actually quite a phenomenal looking score, because you have a great interior. It has some bugs with the lighting, with your modules, with a few different things here when it comes down to the cargo grids. But overall, it has a hell of a lot of potential, and it's a fantastic starter even right now. I heard Evenlease in the Breaking Even series is actually going to switch over to this ship. So can't wait to see it used on the daily. Let me know what you think of the new RSI Aurora Mark II. My idea here is buy it. I think it's worth every single dime. If you're willing to put money down, this is the one you want to go with, especially if you're new to the game. Here you are. That, or wait until it enters the store in-game and get it for UEC, but I definitely think it's worth adding to your collection. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. You guys are all truly amazing, and of course, I'll see you all in the next one. If you're building a new PC, go through longshipindustries.com, a veteran-owned mom-and-pop business that takes pride in every single build. He built my personal rig, which you can actually see featured on the website. The care, warranty, and customer support are top tier. Trust Longship Industries for your next build.